Okay, so what we're going to do here is look at the rules for differentiation or derivatives. So the very first rule we have is the constant rule. Okay, a constant is just a plain number. Okay. Ooh, that was straight. So f of x equals some number. How we denote a derivative, it's f prime of x. And the derivative of any number will always be 0. So, for example, if I give you a function of 5, then the derivative is going to be 0. If I ask you for the derivative of negative 3/4, the derivative is just 0. This is a rule you just got to know. You can't do anything about it. Just know it. Cool? Great. So now will be the power rule. Okay, this is any function raised to a power. So for instance, it'll be x to the n. That's the power rule. So the derivative is going to be, you take your exponent, it becomes the coefficient, and then you take the exponent and decrease it by 1. So let's take our beloved x squared equation. And I ask you to take the derivative of this. So the 2 comes down in front. So my 2 is now the exponent. And decrease our exponent by 1. So the final answer is 2x. That's it. Let's do another example. Let's step it up. So let's say I take 5x to the 4th, and I ask for the derivative. Well, we already have a constant there, so we're going to multiply those two numbers together. So bring the 4 down, x, and decrease the exponent by 1. So my final answer is 20x cubed. That is it. Now, the one that gives people the most amount of trouble is something like 3x. You want to be careful. This one actually has a lot of places to make mistakes. The understood exponent is 1. So you're going to do 3 times 1, x to the 1 minus 1. So 3 times 1 is 3, and 1 minus 1 is 0. And anything to the x power, into the 0 power is just 1, so this just becomes 3. Okay, so let's do a little bit more involved example. So let's take the function, I don't know, x to the 5th minus 2x cubed plus x minus 4. Then we take the derivative. So we have a 5, it pops down. Decrease your exponent by 1, so that becomes a 4. The 3 and the 2 come together, so we multiply that and get negative 6x to the 2nd. This is that one you gotta be careful of. I have an exponent of 1, so the 1 comes down, and then the x goes away to 0. And remember, the derivative of 4 is 0. So there's your final answer. Now, let's do one last one, and let's make it a fun one. Let's do f of x to the 3x to the, 4/5 minus 2x to the negative 3 plus 2x. Okay, so here we go. Take the derivative. The 4/5 comes down, so this will be 3 times 4/5 x. Now subtract the 4 minus the 5, and we get negative 1, and the denominator stays 5. Okay, that's a really nice little trick to do this fast. Negative 3 times negative 2 is plus 6x. Subtract 1 from negative 3, and we get negative 4, and the derivative of 2x is just 2. Okay, I hope this helped. Happy driving!